Hey guys, he's still in the hospital.
The cult.
Still in the cult. Oh, we have Gunner here today. Here's Gunny. He's feeling a little burnt out. Hopefully we'll squeeze some Trump out of you later. So they tried to do the gastroscopy, colonoscopy on Aaron, and the gastroscopy went fine. They actually found an ulcer. Interesting. So there was a reason he wasn't eating. And the colonoscopy was a complete bust. It didn't work out, so they're keeping him one more day, and they're going to do it tomorrow, and they've got him on a liquid diet.
Tomorrow.
What?
Wednesday.
Oh, right. He's going to be on just liquid diet all day tomorrow, and then Wednesday they're going to do it. So, look, I brought him a care package. You got the whole works here. We've got apple juice, white cranberry, a whole 8-pack of ginger ale. We've got some lime jello, chicken broth, a faux soup that we're going to do without the noodles so you feel like you're having dinner. And for dessert, I made sure that it's only water and sugar and lemon.
Yummy.
Yeah, so I'm going to hook you up now because I know you're starving.
My stomach's growling just thinking about it.
I'll set you up right now. It's good, eh? This is the best, the faux soup. That's why I got it for you.
Oh, yeah, look at
I know, look, we totally fucked up because we put the chives in there, but...
That's okay.
Let's hope. Let's hope they don't do colonoscopy 3.0. And let's hope the drugs are better, because apparently they were a big letdown today, weren't they?
Yeah.
I was hyping it up. I was like, just get the colonoscopy. Like, the buzz is freaking phenomenal. Don't shake your head. You were all in. You were down with that shit.
Yeah, I was done with it, but I didn't get high.
He didn't get anything. Maybe it's just a shit hospital.
Yeah, they chinsed out on the
Chinsed out on the fence.
fence.
Or whatever it is. I think that's what
Yeah,
it
it's
is.
fence.
Well, I didn't like it when I had my boob surgery, but I sure liked it when I had the colonoscopy.
Yeah.
I guess it's all about the context, you know?
Well, yeah.
But that's how I was trying to encourage him to go through with it, because he was like, I don't want this, I don't need it. We do need it because he's so anemic, even with all the iron for 9 months. He's more anemic now than he was 9 months ago, and he's taking 300 milligrams of iron a day. So we have to know if he's bleeding somewhere, you know? And I was trying to encourage him, and I was like, trust me, the buzz alone, it's worth it. Everybody should have a colonoscopy. And then he goes and gets it, and it was a total letdown.
Yeah.
Maybe tomorrow you can tell them, listen, Doc, don't chintz out on me.
The worst part is drinking that gallon of...
You didn't even drink it, though. I saw it in your room. Did you finish it? No, you didn't. I saw it. You only drank like a quarter of it. Look at, he's guilty.
I drank like enough to feel like puking, and then I dumped the rest of it.
You did. Well, and that's why you have to do it again tomorrow. But
the next day.
Right, the day
Wednesday.
after. But to be fair, it's really difficult. Just use your imagination how difficult it is when you're paralyzed. So I don't blame him. I don't blame you for not drinking it. I would have been pissed. I would have been like, there's got to be another way to do this, you know?
So gross, that shit.
Oh, yeah. And when I had mine, I didn't have to drink that liquid.
Yeah.
I couldn't have done it either. They gave me the explosive powder that, like, you put it in your juice and it starts fizzing. And
What do they call it? Explode?
No, I called it that because it looks like you're putting like explosives in your drink, you know?
Yeah.
And I was expecting that all hell was going to break loose, and it was really not that bad. It was really not that, you know, explosive, let's say.
That's pretty good.
Anyway, I'm proud of you for hanging in through all this crap. So let's hope they get their shit together. I'm really looking forward to the wound care, like what their conclusions are. So they were saying today they might even consider surgery.
I don't know. It was just the nurse floating an idea.
The nurse?
No, not the nurse. The doctor.
Oh, if it was a doctor, then that's
Yeah, she was trying to figure out, but she didn't even know. Like, she thought it was dermatology. No, not dermatology, but trauma.
Orthopedics?
Orthopedics.
But did she see the wound herself, or
I
she's
was
just...
like, no.
Oh, yeah, because when people haven't seen it, they're like, oh, why don't they just close it? And then when they see it, they're like, oh.
No, she knows. She knows. She looked at the...
Oh, she did see it.
She looked at the CAT scan.
Oh, great. Oh, my God, that would be such an answered prayer. See, that's why we're still vlogging about this. I mean, it's been almost a week, and I'm just kind of like, well, might as well keep going at this point. But you guys are our prayer team, so we're still hoping and praying that he'll get surgery and they'll fix him for good.
Would be good.
That's what we could hope for, ideally.
Yeah.
But not get our hearts set on it.
It's kind of life-threatening, this thing, you know? It's kind of life-threatening.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
I feel kind of fuller on
Yeah, I told you, it's not that bad. Just have some more ginger ale.
Cheers.
Look at this nice lemon sorbet. This is actually a brand that I consider a shit brand.
Oh, sorbet, that's what it is.
But look, he can have it. So he can have like a whole cup of ice cream.
Yeah.
It's tasty too. This is the brand that they have downstairs in the hospital, and we got some and it tasted rancid. And I tried.
That was ice cream, wasn't it?
We tried a few different ones and they were all equally horrible. And I tried to tell them this doesn't taste right, it's normal. And they tasted it and they were like, this is exactly the way it's supposed to taste. And I was like, what kind of business are they running where they sell shit ice cream?
Yeah.
But this one's good, no? You don't like it? It's lemon. It was the only one I could give you.
It's a bit weird.
At least you get to eat something. Hey guys, here I am with the post-game interview, as Gunnar likes to call it. So, what do you think of the care he's getting?
Well, it's dirty. You know, they just don't clean the patients.
Yeah,
But
and I wanted to talk about that too. And how do we talk about this without it getting too much in detail? But basically, people who are commenting saying that it must be a nice break for me. Is it a break?
No. Quite the opposite.
I'm doing so much in there because if you're paralyzed and you have scars all over you, those scars need to be kept clean and dry. And I was not happy to see that they were actually, like, I had been a little bit hands off with some of the more physical stuff. Like I was just cleaning his chair, bringing him what he needs, giving him a shower, maybe the catheter, bringing him home cooked food, and cleaning his laundry and stuff like that. But I wasn't going around the wound area because I was thinking, well, you know, they're taking care of that. And then today I realized that like all his old scars, they're all like super dirty and the skin is being burnt and he is going to have sores. And his scars, it's not just like a little scar, it's like he has had major flap surgery, so he has like all this kind of
major flap surgery. Huh?
Yeah, it was like major surgery with flaps and rearranging things. So he's got a lot of scars, and there's a lot of areas where it kind of goes like this and where there were staples. And yeah, like if that skin gets like wet and stays wet, or if it gets dirty and it gets kind of burnt, and if those scars open up, he's gonna have like a very, very serious problem. So I was kind of like, oh my god, what the hell's going on here? It took me a long time to like really clean it up, and I have this special barrier cream, so I was doing that. But yeah, another time, the bandage that has like on the side of the abscess, one night at emergency we noticed it was soiled and there was actually poop on the outside of the bandage, and I told the nurse, there's poop on this bandage, somebody needs to change it. And you know, we know that it's going to take 2 or 3 hours before they're going to come and do it. So we were there with him in the emerge, and then we left and came back the next evening, and it was still the same. They never changed it. There's a freaking abscess in there. It's infected. Don't you think?
Yeah, and
you shouldn't leave a bandage with poop on it?
When you told the nurse about how You know, they gotta clean, and it's like, you know, he's got like these sores, and
Yeah, I was explaining
and
it to
she's
her.
like, yeah, I'm getting infected, and it's like, no, it's already infected, though. That's not the problem.
The problem
It's
is he's
gonna
gonna
like,
have a lot of new sores.
it's
Also,
gonna
his
create,
tailbone.
yeah,
I had to put a patch on his tailbone with a duoderm because that's also starting to disintegrate. Like, trust me, guys, I'm keeping a very close
his
eye on
skin
him.
turns to soap,
But
basically.
he's very
You know what it's
delicate
like?
in that way.
You know, like when you stay in the bath for a really long time or something.
Yeah, that's maceration. You know, like that's what they call it when there's fluids on the skin and it gets like white and kind of over like waterlogged. But this is more because it's like fluids and it's.
Yeah.
I'm having to really make sure that his body is nicely clean and all his holes are very carefully patched because I always say, you know, he's like my old teddy bear and I have to keep patching his holes or his stuffing's going to come out. And today when I saw that, I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, like all your stuffing's going to come out if we don't get a handle on this. So in that area, I'm not impressed. And, you know, like if he wants to get in or out of bed, I guess he has to get somebody to get him off. Like I told you guys, he's a lot more independent at home, but over there he needs help getting on and off the bed and all the hygiene stuff. And I'm the one who's always watching for his hygiene because he's just not as aware. And so when I'm not here, I guess I think they're doing a sort of okay job. I mean, they're not leaving him like, you know, completely filthy. It's not like that. It's just you have to go beyond that. You have to be meticulously caring for his skin and his scars. You can't leave anything out of that. You can't leave any moisture or dirt in the cracks. That's basically what it comes down to in the scars, cracks. You know,
it's hard to keep up with him because the antibiotics. It's just like his specific situation.
They were so focused on the antibiotics.
Requires a lot of cleaning.
Yeah, it does.
Because of the antibiotics and his.
Yeah, but not only that, but like always, you know, basically. But they were so focused on those positive cultures, which one of them.
No, but the antibiotics give him the shit.
Well, that's basically, I'm trying to say it without saying it, but yeah, antibiotics gave him the shits, and then of course they're getting him ready for colonoscopy, so you have to keep him really, really clean, you know, otherwise you're going to have way worse problems. So there's that, and that's been rough, and it's failed the first time, and they're going to redo it. And some people were like, why is he getting a colonoscopy? They're dangerous. Yes, I know, obviously I know the risks, but there's a reason why they're doing it, because he's had this problem with anemia where even on iron pills for 9 months, his blood counts and his iron, I don't know about the iron, but I think the iron, yeah, was going down, yeah. And the hemoglobin, red blood cells, so it's like, and even the white blood cells, so it's like there's blood loss. They know that. They're just not 100% sure where he's losing blood. You know, you would assume it would be from the wound because it is bleeding. But the thing is, in those months, the wound really only started bleeding like this in the last 4 months. And before that, it wasn't draining like that. So he was still losing blood. So we don't know where. They checked his stomach. They found an ulcer in there. So they have to check the colon also. Make sure that there's not blood loss on that end. You know.
That's a good find, the ulcer.
Yeah, that was good because he hasn't been eating well for like a long time, like a year. And I was concerned about that. I want to get a move on,
you know, it's like 1:40.
I know. I just want to like kind of sum up where we're at with this. So he's on a liquid diet all day tomorrow, and then hopefully they're going to redo the colonoscopy on Wednesday. And we're still waiting to see wound care. The wound care specialist still hasn't come. There's only 3 wound care nurses for the 3 English hospitals. So in all of Montreal, there's 3 wound care nurses. So these other ones that they call them wound care nurses, they're not really wound care nurses. They're just nurses that do bandages sometimes, but they're not real experts.
Yeah, they don't know about wound care. They don't know.
Not like with that expertise.
No.
But they are going to send one. But we've been waiting, 7 days now, I guess. So yeah, everything takes a long time. Like finding out the results of the cultures, finding out if it was a contaminant. You know, getting the wound care person to come in, and then also like the delays, you know, waiting for the needs that he has in the moment or in the day. But there was one other thing. So when they saw he was gram-positive in the blood culture, they put an isolation sign at the front of his room, assuming he was positive for MRSA, and they were telling us to put gowns on, and I was like, what are you talking about, MRSA? And then they found out that it was this Staphylococcus hominis, which is nothing, and it was just a contaminant. And yet they still have the sign over his door, and they're still treating him like he's an MRSA isolation case.
Mm-hmm.
So there's like a bit of a communication breakdown.
Yeah,
too.
The nurses don't know.
They don't know. The doctor hasn't said anything, and whoever is it feels a bit third world in the way that things move at a super slow pace. Don't get me wrong. This is the best thing that's happened to him and me in a long time regarding his wound, because it's the first time that we actually have an opportunity to really access care. And so they were talking about possibility of surgery, which would be amazing. And one of my viewers was commenting saying that there's no such thing as a wound that's too deep. They take him to the OR, they do operate. And I believe that. I do believe that there's no excuse. Other than that, maybe they don't have the expertise or they're not equipped or something like that. But I still think that they should be able to get in there.
Well, they don't consider him priority because of his age?
No, I don't think that that's happening here. I think that was maybe an issue at the general, but it could also be that those doctors just didn't have the wherewithal to do it. That, yeah, you can if you're in the right hospital with the right doctors, but that general wasn't it. Maybe it's going to be better here. But I think that it for sure, like, there is a way to do it, but will they be able to do it here? I don't know. But at least they're talking about it. So best thing that could happen is he ends up with an abscess and then they're forced to operate and he's no longer on the freaking blacklist. And what time is it now? It's 1:40.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're here quite a long time. We're like really like watching over him and keeping him company and watching horrible, stupid conspiracy videos that I can't even listen to, and war videos.
I like those videos.
I know you do.
They're good.
He
They're
does
good.
too. Yeah, we're keeping him good company. We're doing as much as we can, And that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'm gonna keep doing updates, and we'll see how this turns out. And I'll just put it all out there, and you guys can see how our healthcare works. Okay, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.